And for this part of the video, I actually brought the camera in a little closer. It's actually probably back closer to where it used to be in just about every video. But I guess probably should do some kind of a magic trick since I have to do at least one a day. And this wand is actually not finished yet, but the reason for that is because I'm going to share that with you. When I went to the pharmacy the other day, I got the parts that I needed to finish my wand. And when I went to build it, it occurred to me that I might as well just go ahead and record the whole build process in case one of you guys wanted to make one or make something similar to it. But yeah, should probably get into some kind of a magic trick. Let me just get a little tea first. Oh man, that's good. So this is going to be a trick, but it's also going to be a little bit of a tutorial, kind of a combination of the two. Because what I just did there, holding the wand and telling you a story about it and having a drink of my conveniently placed tea, is that's all just misdirection to make it look like there's nothing in my hand. Anytime that you're palming something, if you can also hold something else, it makes your palm a lot more believable, because I don't have to try to get my hand to lay flat without dropping the palm. If I'm holding something else, I have every reason for my hand to be partially closed, especially when it's a cup. But there's a way to cheat with that too. When you pick up the cup, you can actually curl the fingers onto what you're palming. And then when you put the cup back down, just make sure you push those muscles back together. But I said this isn't just going to be a tutorial, it's going to be a trick and a tutorial, not just one or the other. So I should probably do something that looks remotely magical, I guess, which is going to be hard since you already know I'm palming a coin. What we could do, I suppose, is we'll put it back in palm and we'll pretend like you don't know it's there. So you could start with a hand wash if you want, but I'm not great at that yet. But anyway, then we will produce the coin and make a little show of displaying it. And then we will do some kind of a retention vanish, which is, it seems like it would be easy with a coin because they're so small, they should be easy to conceal. But because they're so small, they're also kind of hard to hold on to. But we'll try a French drop here and see if we can't make that coin vanish, which of course, is still over here. But with that French drop, you get the thumb underneath it, and it's really convincing. But there's another effect that I like to use sometimes for my coin routines. If you just drop it into your hand like that, you can actually turn it into a completely different coin, which was really the underlying purpose of this trick. I wanted to show you this because I lied to you the other day without even meaning to. I told you that I had made myself some coins, and it was the first time I had ever done that. And that's actually not true. I had just forgotten about it. When I first started my channel, I got myself a 3/4 inch hole punch, and it's what I used to punch the holes in the cards that I was using for the sandwich effect, where I produce a full king from between two jokers that have holes punched through the center. And also, this one you can see is the head off of a queen. I made basically a flap card that was 2 layers, so you could show that I cut both the heads off the queen of diamonds and put a flap behind each of them so that I could show there was no there was an actual hole in it you could see through, and then I'd wave my hand in front and just release the flaps, and they'd snap into place and look like a whole card. But since I was taking that face anyway, I actually discovered that the hole punch I bought was exactly the same size as the bicycle logo, with the angel riding the bicycle. So what I did was, when I punched out the faces, I punched out the rider back off of some other cards, and then I just cut circles out of a milk jug and glued these to both sides so that it has some actual texture. It's not just like a card. And I actually made 3 of these that I was going to start doing my coin magic with, but the problem was they're too small. It's about the size of a quarter, which you can do magic with in a pinch, but you're a lot better off using a bigger coin. And that move that I did, I mean, it's obviously not fooling you guys, but it wasn't meant to. I was actually using it more as a production for this coin. But all you're doing is you have one of the coins in finger palm here, or classic palm, I guess, but it's easier to release for me from finger palm. You display this coin, and you actually open your hand and drop both, and then you just catch the one that you don't want to show. And then my other favorite thing to do in this kind of a situation or setup is, with the coin in palm, you can do the French drop, which again is this, holding the coin this way, and you come with the crab claw. You get your thumb underneath it, so it really looks like you have to take it. But then you just let go of the coin and it falls into finger palm. And then you can go over here, and everyone's expecting you to have vanished the coin, and you produce a different coin, which is a really nice effect. But then you can take this coin and vanish it again, like, let's see, this is hard to do with a coin this size for me because my hands are big and sausage-like, but this is my favorite coin vanish when I can get it right. You come in like you're going to grab the coin, but instead of grabbing it, you do one of these numbers, so that as you show this hand empty, you can also show this hand empty. But instead of showing it empty, you reproduce the coin that you've already vanished. And then you come over here as though you're going for another French drop, and you can come in this way and make the switch again. And this coin is way too small to be doing this move, but it's one of my favorite moves. Let me find another of my bigger coins. Let's see here. There's one. Had them in my lap. I forget the name of this palm, but these are still kind of small, actually, but I'll give it a shot. I forget the name of this palm, but you hold it between the pinky and the forefinger. And the reason I like it so much is because you can have a coin laying in view, and you can come in and wave. And if you get the timing right, you can switch the coins out and just pull the other one in. And you wouldn't do that with identical coins. You'd do it with coins that weren't the same. And it's a nice little switch again. So with that routine, basically the French drop, whatever this vanish is called, and the palm here, you can do basically 2 productions, and then make one coin change to the other, change it back, and change it back again. And with this move, you can do this as long as you get this palm really good. You can do this 4 or 5 times in a row before it gets old. And that other vanish, what I did is, when you come to grab it, instead of grabbing, you use the heel of the hand as you curl the fingertips in to push the coin onto the back of the hand. You move this hand away, and this hand comes up to show that it's empty. And then you show this one empty. And then there's any number of ways that you can get the coin back. Generally, probably be best off with a hand wash. But again, I'm not the best at that. But that gives the illusion that you have shown both hands empty. And the last thing I want to discuss with you about coins in our day of everything 7 is that I'm making some more. And the ones I'm making this time around aren't going to be the same material. They're going to be copper, actually. And to tell you the truth, I'm not even sure what this material is. I think it might be titanium. I know it's not steel because these coins aren't magnetic, which was disappointing. When I made them, I thought they were going to be magnetic. But I really like copper because I think it's really pretty, and it's also very soft and easy to mold. And I'm going to make some coins out of copper, which I've already kind of started on. I haven't really done anything to them yet, but measure them and cut them out. And I know that sounds insane. How are you going to make these 2 circles of copper into some coins? But my answer to that question would be the same way that I made some pieces of copper turn into rings. This is another project I started when I first created my channel, and I haven't actually done anything with it yet, but I'm making several, obviously, identical rings, which they're not done yet. But one of them has, or will have, a fire effect on it, where I can be wearing the ring on one of the middle 2 fingers and wave this hand across to create a spark and light a fire in the palm of the hand. And then the way I designed that utility gimmick for the fire, once I decide to put the fire out, I bring this hand in to look like I'm smothering it, and you can actually switch the ring out, which is why I'm making so many, so that I can have a couple that are gimmicked in different ways, and then have at least 1 or 2 in a one ahead kind of situation. And if you're curious, this is actually just a piece of 3/4 inch copper pipe that I got from the hardware store and cut into pieces. And so is this. In fact, I took a piece of copper pipe like this, used a pair of 10 snips to flatten it out like so, but this one's too small, and then just trace the coin and cut it out with 10 snips. And from there, I will use a grinding stone and some files and a rotary tool. And like I said before, I'll end up drilling a hole in the center of these so that I can put them on a drill and basically work them like they're attached to a lathe using a tool I have lying here somewhere on my table of never-ending magic. There it is. This is for attaching sanding discs to my rotary tool. But what I'm using it for in this instance is once I punch the hole in the center of the coin, put the coin on the screw this back in and lock the whole thing in a drill, and then I can just turn the drill on and press a file against the coins and they file themselves basically. It helps me keep them perfectly round. But I might actually walk you guys through the process of making the coins too, because I really don't expect it to take long. But I will be happy to share with you how the coins are made, how the wand is made. Actually, with the coins, I might not share the full process of how those are made because it's one of the tricks that I've submitted to market. So I don't want to reveal that and give it away for free if I'm going to end up selling that trick. But I forgot to show you the other 2 coins that I made originally. I think they're all 3 here. Just 2. These are the Queen of Hearts and the Queen of Diamonds. The other one is a king. I think it's a red king, but I wouldn't swear to that. But I really like the idea of this because you could also do a color change. You could have some that were a different color. And last but not least, I'm sure you can tell what this is. There's no reason to ever say that you can't practice your magic, because you don't have to have professional props. You don't have to have any props at all. But if you've got soda cans and some paper you can ball up, you've got a cups and balls routine. And I am not going to perform this right now. That will probably come later in this video, but as you can see, these are just soda cans that I literally cut in half, and that's balled up paper. And this is balled up aluminum foil for a ball switch. So there's literally no excuse to not be practicing your magic. But I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this video here and call that one good. And then I'll start the next one, probably either working on the wand or maybe doing the cups and balls. But first things first, I gotta get something to eat. I hope you guys are liking this different format. I thought it'd be fun to switch things up a little bit. But go ahead and put a cut in here, and I will see you in the next one.